Hello everyone and welcome to another casual review. Today I'm talking about Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. I have actually done a casual review on this one before. It's been a while and I felt like it was only fitting that I return to this one after playing through the rest of the Kingdom Hearts game. So this is our casual revisit. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory is a rhythm-based game where you play through all of the music of Kingdom Hearts. Well, that's not true. You don't play through all of the music. You play through a chunk of music in the series. I haven't spent that much time talking about the music of Kingdom Hearts during these other casual reviews, and so I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate the soundtrack that is Kingdom Hearts. It is so nostalgic and warm and epic, and it stands out from a large chunk of other video game soundtracks. Now, the gameplay strays away from a traditional rhythm-based game. This isn't like your DDR or your Guitar Hero. Essentially, like the main mode of this game is you and two other partners will be running along a track, and the enemies are actually like the notes that you are supposed to play, so you are beating up enemies as you are navigating through the song, and ideally, like, the beat is supposed to go with the rhythm of the music. There are three, like, action attack inputs, your A button and your two shoulder buttons, and it doesn't really matter which one of these you press when there's just one enemy approaching you, but if there's two, you'll have to press two of these buttons. If there's three, you'll have to press all three at the same time. Usually, I've resorted to the two shoulder buttons. It doesn't happen very often where you have to attack all three enemies at the same time. And this is the first thing that I'm kind of conflicted about, because when you play a rhythm-based game along this winding, twisting track and enemies are crawling towards you, it's sometimes difficult to tell whether these three enemies are supposed to be all attacked at the same time or in rapid succession of each other. And so it's difficult to be accurate, especially your first time playing through one of these songs. There's other slight complications, like sometimes if a big enemy is approaching you on the track, sometimes it's kind of hard to see the smaller enemies that are behind him. And so there is like a level of inaccuracy here. Now, you have like your main guy on your team that's in the middle of the track, but your two partners are like slightly behind you, and so really you're going to want to look at the icons that shrink on top of the enemies and press it right when that icon shrinks over the circle. Occasionally they will throw some spell blocks at you, so sometimes you'll want to shoot like a ranged spell at an enemy who's off away from the main track, or other times you'll use like if you're playing Sora, you'll use an ability called like Ragnarok. And then other times they'll throw this section at you where you have to kind of like glide, and you're using the analog stick to glide along the track. Occasionally they will throw some side enemies at you to attack as you are gliding along the track too, so you have to pay attention to that. Now, as far as difficulty goes, it's kind of like all over the place. It doesn't gradually get more and more difficult. It just kind of depends if it's a fast-paced song or not. Sometimes the faster-paced songs actually work in my favor because I can get in the groove, I can get in the rhythm, where some of these other songs, it's difficult for me to really get like a pattern, to like place a beat to it, and this is especially difficult if I'm not exactly the most familiar with a song. Like if a song from Dream Drop Distance comes that I'm not familiar with, I'm not going to do nearly as well as if I'm playing along the song with Traverse Town. No matter how good or bad you do, you will get graded at the end of your run. I've never seen anything lower than a C. I think it's C if you do fail the level. Usually you get a B, an A plus, A plus plus plus. I don't think I've ever seen an S. That must be reserved for if you get all excellence on all the notes. But I have done this a couple times where I've gotten a completely unbroken chain with my combos. That means I never missed one note playing through the song. Now, as you are playing through each song, they all have their own unique missions. Every single song has 3 different missions, and depending on which ones you complete, that earns you these star tokens, and those, if you get enough star tokens, then you are allowed to progress through the game. Usually, as long as you play through every single song that's available to you at least once, you should be able to progress through the main game. There was a section when I was playing through Dream Drop Distance where I needed to go back and complete some more of these missions. And these missions can range from like defeat all of the barrels and boxes on the map, or use all the available magic abilities, stay within this amount of health without using any items. And it is kind of a drag, like having to go back to some of these songs if you don't have enough of these stars. There is one pathway where you needed like, what, it was like 280 stars, and I only had about like 230 stars for that special pathway. But for the majority of the time, just play through every single song available to you once, and you probably will be able to progress. I was kind of frustrated about the missions though, because some of them require you to play the song on the most difficult difficulty, and I just wanted to play through the whole game as standard, but I did feel like I was getting some FOMO by doing so. But surprisingly, there are some RPG elements in this game. Like, you eventually unlock like 4 different teams. You're gonna start with Sora, Donald, and Goofy Classic, but then you'll get access to the Twilight Town trio or the characters from Birth by Sleep. And so these teams can level up as you play through the game. They actually get experience. Now, what leveling up actually does in this game, I have no idea. It might just be so that you can give yourself a pat on the back. I kind of use this as a meter, which team I haven't played in a while, and so I would just try to make sure all of my teams were the same level. But it explicitly tells you like your team's level does not affect your actual score. So maybe it affects like how long you can survive in a song without dying. Because yes, you do have health points, and as you miss these beats and notes, the enemies, the Heartless, the Nobodies will start attacking you, and your health will start dropping. Once your HP drops down to 0, that's the end of the song. You have to start over again. Now, there are items that you can use to actually like circumvent this. You can actually equip potions before you go into the song, and they basically just like trigger automatically once you reach down a certain percentage of HP. There's also items that increase the amount of XP that you can earn. There's items that allow Mickey to come along on your song journey and help you fight. And even more RPG than that, there's the whole Moogle synthesizing crafting system, so you can potentially craft a lot of different things as well, just in case you're running out of those potions or whatever. And you will get synthesizing ingredients every time you beat a song. That's not the only thing you'll get when you beat a song though. Every once in a while you will unlock different collectibles. Usually these take place in the form of these cards that basically are like pictures of scenes of different Kingdom Hearts games. I've even noticed scenes from the mobile games, the X series or a Chi series. And like, yeah, really this is almost like a story so far, but I wouldn't even go that far. I wouldn't say like, oh, hey, play Melody of Memory and you'll have the whole story of Kingdom Hearts in your brain for Kingdom Hearts 4 when that comes out. No, it's more like a previously on, where it kind of like recaps really briefly through the cinematics and songs. Hey, this is what happened in Kingdom Hearts 1. This is what happened in Kingdom Hearts 2. And you can kind of see where they prioritize the story depending on how many cinematics they devote to each game. And so something like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, you're going to get a lot of different tracks. You're going to get a decent amount of cinematics compared to something like Recoded, where you get one cinematic. I think 358 over 2 days gets maybe 2 or 3 cinematics. Chain of Memories gets 1 or 2. There's nothing from the mobile games. The only reference you get of those are these in the form of these collectible cards. Kingdom Hearts 3 actually felt surprisingly underrepresented, and these tracks that they do have available in Kingdom Hearts 3 are different than how it is in the traditional gameplay. You're kind of just gliding along a track. Instead of like defeating enemies, they just show a bunch of these cutscenes and cinematics from the Kingdom Hearts 3 universes. So you're playing through, You've Got a Friend in Me from the Toy Story land, and there's just cinematics of Woody and Buzz and Sora all interacting with each other. And Kingdom Hearts 3 is certainly not short in cinematics, and so they have plenty of content to show you. But it is kind of interesting why they decided to shift the gameplay and the backdrops of these worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3 specifically. It is also kind of weird that for the Frozen world, you're basically just playing through Let It Go, and that's the only song that actually has like vocals. I think besides clean and simple, which is like one of the Kingdom Hearts themes at the very beginning of the game. There's also a different game mode where it's more like boss battles, and there's maybe 3 or 4 of these specific tracks where it's kind of like, hey, you're fighting this boss as you are playing through this rhythm game. I wish they did these more because they felt more visually exciting, and there are certain like notes where if you get excellent on all of them, then you'll watch this little cutscene of you dodging or blocking the enemy attacks, and it like grades you on how well you deflected the enemy's attacks. But you know, you're just like fighting Ansem as you are playing through the epic boss song. There are some inconsistencies here, having just played through all of the Kingdom Hearts games, where I'm watching and I'm like, no, Sora and Donald were not with you with that fight. You were all by yourself. Or like, you know, you're playing through a certain world and you're like, that Heartless doesn't show up in that world. I mean, I'm not like actually mad, but it is kind of fun to call them out on it. I do wish that as you travel to these different worlds that your characters would dress up how they dress up in that world. So if you're playing through the Nightmare Before Christmas track, I wish that Sora, Donald, and Goofy looked like how they did when they visited the world in their respective games. And I understand that you have different teams, and so maybe only do it if you're playing through Sora, Donald, and Goofy. But I do like playing through these tracks, and even if the background isn't a bunch of cinematics, it is kind of fun because it like scrolls through the different areas. So if you're playing through Traverse Town, it's kind of showing you all the different locations in Traverse Town as you are playing through the game. Not that I'm like really watching the background that much because I'm trying to pay attention to the notes, but it is a nice touch. So is this game an absolute must play? Like, I know that every single Kingdom Hearts game has at least some story relevance, but do you need to play through this game in order to be completely caught up for Kingdom Hearts 4? I wouldn't say necessarily. Like, the majority of the game, it's kind of like Kairi retelling the events of all these different Kingdom Hearts games. So it does act as a nice little the story so far previously on kind of thing, just to get your memory refreshed right before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. Who knows when that will be though. But the only like really story relevant thing in this game is at the very end level. I'm not going to provide any spoilers, but there's a decent amount of cinematics that kind of show you what our friends are all doing in search of Sora, because Sora is not here anymore because of the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, and we're all trying to find where Sora is, because you know from any Kingdom Hearts game that it's pretty much impossible to kill anyone permanently because hearts just survive forever. So we're essentially like searching for his heart as far as I understand, and it kind of alludes to where Sora's heart might be and who's going to do what in order to find it. So if you're not interested in this rhythm-based gameplay or the soundtrack of the Kingdom Hearts series, I think you're totally fine just pulling up these videos on YouTube and getting the lore that way. It's not that long of a Kingdom Hearts game though. It's about 8.5 hours for me at least, but I did not replay a lot of the levels only to get enough of these missions completed to progress. Usually for most of these songs, I played through them one time. So I'm not saying that you don't have to play through Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. I'm saying that you get to play through Melody of Memory if you want to. You know, when I first casually reviewed this game, I remember really enjoying it. If I'm not mistaken, I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 or even a 5 out of 5. And I'm looking back on that review and I'm thinking it's not as good of a game as I had remembered, and I'm trying to speculate why I loved this game so much when I first played through it. I think a big part of it was there had been a huge gap from me playing any Kingdom Hearts game up to that point, and so when I was playing through Melody of Memory, it acted more as a, hey, remember Kingdom Hearts? Remember that series? Remember how much fun you had with it? Oh, aren't you so nostalgic about this music and these songs? But as I'm replaying through it this time, it's more like, yeah, of course I remember Kingdom Hearts. I just played through every other game in the series, so it's still super fresh in my mind. So it did act really well as a, hey, pick up and play for 20 minutes type of game, but it did not hold up as much during like these 2-hour gaming sessions. That's why this time around, I think I'm going to give this game a 3 out of 5. It's good. I'm glad I played through it, but if it was between playing this rhythm-based Kingdom Hearts game or a action RPG Kingdom Hearts game, I'm going to choose the action RPG Kingdom Hearts game every time. And that's it for my Kingdom Hearts journey up to this point. No other Kingdom Hearts games have been released. There is Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, a mobile game that has been discontinued, I think, last year as of this recording, and so I'll go through and watch those cinematics, but as far as like me actually playing any Kingdom Hearts, this is it. It's been a wild ride, and I've gained a huge appreciation for the series, even more than I had before. Playing through this recap of the whole series kind of has me thinking, man, I wouldn't be entirely opposed to starting over again and doing the journey once more. It also kind of had me debating, like, man, which one of these Kingdom Hearts games is the best? And I keep bouncing between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. They're both amazing 5 out of 5 games, and I just can't decide which one I like better. Birth by Sleep is a pretty close runner-up, though. That's the surprising thing. Well, guys, that's it for me. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye!